What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So I want to talk about something that I saw today on Undisputed. Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp were debating about whether Luka is the best player remaining in the playoffs. And Skip is so predictable at this point. Talking about the same things he always talks about. He was talking about how Luka is not a great 3-point shooter. He's a poor defender. Uh, not a great 3-point shooter. It's the same shit that he talks about with LeBron, right? And it's the same thing that he talks about when it comes to Giannis, right? And this is where Skip loses credibility to me, total credibility. Now he talks about how Luka is not a good free throw shooter. 73%. I mean, that's not good, right? But then when Shannon brings up Shaq, who he adores, Shaq was only 52% for his career. Yeah, but Shaq is a post player. And plus he was such a dominant force. Okay, Giannis is a post player, and he's a dominant force. But you expect him to be a great free throw shooter. And compared to Shaq, he is. Compared to Shaq, he's 70% versus 50%. But you hold it against Giannis. Then you hold against Giannis that he's not a good jump shooter, that he doesn't shoot threes well. But Shaq had no range outside of I would say 12, 13 feet. Shaq had no range. But you give Shaq a pass because you like Shaq. Then he talks about defense. Yes, Luka's defense is bad. Okay. But this is something that people forget about Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan earned that Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988. But the first year of Michael's career, he was not a lockdown defender. He got burned on defense. Now, he got a lot of steals because of his quickness. He was really good in passing lanes and things of that nature. Um, but he was not a lockdown defender his rookie year. I would say he was average his rookie year, and then he slowly got better, and he really worked on his defense in the between 87 and 88. He really worked on it, and he became one of the best defenders in the NBA. But he was not great. And there were some moments people don't talk about. I remember the late, great Derek Smith. I think it was the 85 season. Derek Smith, who would have been a star had it not been for a knee injury. He dunked on Michael Jordan. I mean, dunked on his ass. Uh, and Mike got burned defensively by players. I mean, Smith lit him up for like 35 that game. And you guys know I love Michael Jordan, but at the same time, I'm not going to just lie. I'm not going to lie about certain shit. Luka is still young. He's 23 years old, and the sky's the limit. And nobody would have expected this team to go to the Western Conference Finals. And he does not have a great team around him. All right? Even compared to some of those teams LeBron had, everybody say he was playing with bums. You know, Luka is really playing with less talent than LeBron did, and he's to the Western Conference Finals going against the Golden State Warriors. And a lot of people are predicting the Warriors to sweep this team. That remains to be seen. I hope it's a competitive Western Conference Finals. I have the Warriors winning, but I don't think it's going to be this 4-0 blowout everybody's anticipating either. And while there are similarities between him and James Harden, there's some differences. James had James was overly reliant on the free throw line. James was kind of predictable. Step back, drives the lane, and you know tricks to get calls. That's pretty much his game. Luka is not overly relying on free throws. Um, The only problem I have with Luka is I think that he would be even better if he worked on his 3-point shooting, got it up to like 36, 37% more consistently, and worked on some of his mid range. Work on his mid range to become even better. At least get it up to like 40, 41%, 42%. Threes, get it up to 36, 37, 38%. Work on his free throws, get it to like 79, 80%. He'll be a tremendous player. He would average 30 points every year. Um, and let's say something else too. Let me say something else too about the threes. Luka raises his game in the postseason so far. Now it's a small sample size of 25 playoff games, but that's enough for you to make an assessment. And what I'm seeing is that he raises his game when it comes to pressure situations. Look, in the regular season, Luka averages 26 points. In the playoffs, almost 33. Uh, During the regular season, he's a 46% shooter. In the playoffs right now, he's 48, 49%. In the regular season, he's a 34% three-point shooter. In the playoffs, he's 37. Compared to Larry Bird, who everybody knows is a great clutch performer, right? However, when you look in the playoffs, Bird, who was a 38% career three-point shooter in the regular season, was surprisingly only a 32% three-point shooter during the playoffs. And Bird had some really bad playoff runs. If I'm not mistaken, in '82, I think it was, when they got swept by the Milwaukee Bucks, I believe Bird struggled mightily in that series, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Bird had injuries in '88, but he struggled mightily against the Detroit Pistons in '88. He only averaged 10 points a game in that series, if I'm not mistaken. But he was suffering from bone spurs in his feet. But still, I bring up these points that Luka's a great player. I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not. Is he the best player in the league? Nah, I don't think he's done enough to attain that title. But if he keeps it up, especially if he wins a championship, yeah, you have to put him in that conversation. I still think Giannis is the best player. Just because they lost does not mean that I'm going to take it away from him right now. Um, Magic did not win a championship every year in the '80s, nor did Bird. Bird won 3 straight MVPs from '84 to '86. In '85, they didn't win the championship, but most people still consider Bird the best player. So I'm gonna give Giannis the benefit of the doubt. They did not have a full team. I'm not making an excuse, but they didn't have their full squad up there. They're missing a key player, and at the end of the day, I just want to see these teams. I really wish to see these teams play each other healthy. I know injuries are part of the game, and it is what it is, but you do want to see a healthy or relatively healthy team face off against another relatively healthy team to see who's the best. But right now, the remaining teams in the playoffs, I think Luka's the best remaining player. I know the media darling is Jason Tatum, who they want to be, the coming of Kobe Bryant. You know, I just don't remember Kobe in his prime just yakking up threes. You know what I'm saying? I look at Jason Tatum's stat line the other day. He took like 22 shots, and I think 15 or 16 of them were 3-point attempts. That's not Kobe. At least not prime Kobe. But yeah, man. Anyway, Skip is so predictable, and his points are just his points are just terrible, man. And to me, Shannon Sharp eviscerated him in that segment. I mean, he totally called him out, and I don't really like Shannon Sharp like that. But in that segment, man, he really destroyed Skip Bayless, in my opinion. But tell me what you guys think.